Oh man, what's going on? What's going on? I'm headed to work right now. Gonna be masked up, geared up to the max. Man, it's crazy out here. Whatever. Um, so Earl Spence came out, and Earl Spence was doing a little interview, and in the interview, he said that, you know what I'm saying, if he was to fight Floyd Mayweather, even in his prime, he said that he'd be able to beat Floyd Mayweather. You know, he said he physically, that you can't beat Floyd Mayweather in the mental game, but he said what he would do is he would beat down Floyd physically. He would physically break him down, and that's how he would win the particular fight. And he basically said, man, when I'm 100% focused, I'll be able to beat him. You know what I mean? And that right there, if you have to say those words, oh man, if I'm 100% focused, or when I'm 100% focused, I can beat that guy. If you're a fighter, whoever has had to say those words, you couldn't have beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. Regardless of who you were. You could not have done that if you had to say those words. If I am 100%, when I am 100% focused. Because we all know Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has always been focused. Floyd Mayweather has always been on point. Then he was talking about also how he lost 15 pounds and stuff like that, and he's taking things very seriously. Again, if you had issues like that before in the past in your career, you're not beating Floyd Mayweather. I think Earl Spence is one of the best fighters in the world. I'm one of the people who doesn't believe he should go up to 154. I think if he goes up to 154 right now, he'll be in trouble. I think he will. I think he needs to stay down at 147 pounds for as long as, humanly possible. I think he needs to be very disciplined and focused when it comes to his nutrition, keep his weight down. And I think pretty much he should stay at 147 pounds for most of his career. Like 154 should be like at the tail end of his career. Like the next even 5 years plus, he should be straight up at 150, at 147 pounds. 160, all kinds of trouble. He can't deal at 160 at all. He'll get at all. You know what I mean? So, but so when you're talking about somebody like a Floyd Mayweather, especially Floyd Mayweather at his prime, I mean, this is a man, again, he's never had to say those words, yo, if I'm 100% focused, if I'm on my game. He's never had to say that. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather's never had any issues when it comes to losing weight. I mean, when it comes to weight. This is a guy who, you think about it, Floyd Mayweather used to take off like a year, 2 years off. Multiple times he's taken 2 years off, comes back, takes on a top 3 pound for pound fighter, coming off their biggest wins, and makes them look like like they're nothing. We've seen him do that over and over and over again. Like, that was his thing. Coming back, taking on guys who are coming off their biggest win, top 10 pound for pound fighters, champions, coming off their biggest wins, where everybody thinks, oh yeah, this guy can beat him, this guy can beat him. They switch up later, oh yeah, we all knew he was going to win. But no, I remember what people were saying before the Marquez fight. I'm saying? Oh, the pressure. He's never had to deal with that kind of pressure before. I remember the Ricky Hatton fight. You see what he did in his last fight. You see Ricky Hatton's going to pressure him, going to knock him out. The Oscar De La Hoya fight, because that was Floyd's first fight at 154 pounds. Taking on a top, I think Oscar was like number 7 pound for pound at the time. Champion at 154 pounds, was being trained by Floyd Sr. and was doing his thing. You know what I mean? I remember that. I remember after Shane Mosley, when everybody thought that Floyd wasn't going to fight Shane Mosley, I was calling him scared and all this other stuff. Oh, he's scared. He doesn't want to fight him, this and that. I remember all that talk. You know what I mean? All that Shane got is old came afterwards. But I remember what everybody said before. I remember people were saying before all those fights. And if you're somebody that's just not 100% fully dedicated to the sport and doing what you needed to have been doing from the beginning, you're in trouble when it comes to a man like that. You've never met anyone that makes the adjustments that Floyd Mayweather does in a fight. So when you're somebody that you ballooned up and you're cutting down, you're ballooning up, you're cutting down, you're putting all these poisonous substances into your body on a consistent basis as well. So your body's not, you're not even building these building blocks. You're basically just going up, poisoning your body and getting all this, putting all this poundage on you. Then you're trying to come back close to what you were before for your next fight. Going up, putting all this poison and weight on your body, coming back down, trying to get back to what you were before, close to what you were before. You're not actually building, from here to here to here. You're not, building that foundation up. You're not building up that building, putting bricks on top of bricks on top of bricks on top of bricks. You're not doing that. If you're not doing that and continuously progressing as a fighter, you're in trouble. And right now, Errol Spence has been good because he's better than everybody else. So he has a little leeway. And because he has a little leeway, he's been able to still be successful. Eventually, if he continued to do the things the way he was doing it, it was going to catch up to him. It's going to catch up to you. It catches up to the best of them. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have those fights where it's going to be tough. Fights where you thought you didn't know it was supposed to be tough. You didn't think it was going to be tough. And it ends up being, you end up fighting for your life. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be against a top tier dude. It doesn't even have to be against. Floyd got caught up in those type of situations a couple of times when he went up against Maidana. It was a tough fight. When he went up against Miguel Cotto. Fights that will end up being a lot tougher than he thought they were going to be, but because he never shorted himself, because he's always been ready, because he's always been on point. When those fights came up, when he fought against Castillo, and he came into the ring with a messed up shoulder, but because he's been building those building blocks, building up that foundation and building up that house, build brick by brick by brick, making it stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. When he came toward into those particular situations, he was able to weather them. Because of the work that he put in. So the fact that you're going through all these problems and you're not handling your business with that alone tells me you're not going to beat that man. You wouldn't have beat that man. And then on top of that, you're also talking about just the little things that you can see in certain fights. Like me in the Kell Brooks fights, I remember him getting hit with counterpunch after counterpunch after counterpunch after counterpunch. He was able to weather it against somebody like a Kell Brooks. But when you have a problem and an issue like that, Floyd Mayweather's going to take advantage of it. The Sean Porter fight, that was a hard, tough fight. He ended up becoming out victorious, but he needed that check left hook. He needed that hook dropping, down Sean Porter in order to win that particular fight. That was another really, really tough fight. Even with the Mikey fight, he won the Mikey fight, but it still was like, people still expected, like, he dominated as far as with the boxing and everything like that. But to be real, especially when there's somebody coming up in weight like that, and you're a bigger 147 pounds, you should be able to, even with using the jab and everything, put enough damage on that man where you can stop him. And so you weren't able to stop, you weren't able to stop Mikey, you weren't able to stop Sean Porter, but now all of a sudden you're going to be able to physically beat down a Floyd Mayweather to that level. I just don't think he would have been able to do it. I think he would have gave a good account for himself. I think he would have gave Floyd a tough fight, but I just think that, there's levels, as they say. There's levels. And when it comes to somebody of that level of skill of a Floyd Mayweather, I think just Errol Spence would have had all kinds of problems with Floyd. I don't think there's a single fighter out right now that would have really been able to deal with Floyd at all. I think like Terrence Crawford against Floyd, not even Floyd in his prime. Forget Floyd in his prime. I'm talking about Floyd in his 30s. I'm talking about Floyd like at 31, 32. That's the Floyd I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about Floyd in his prime, like 135 Floyd, 130 Floyd, 140 Floyd. Floyd just coming into at 147 pounds. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about Floyd in his 30s. Like Miguel, like the Canelo Alvarez like time frame around there. I don't think any of these guys. I think Crawford is an easy 12-round decision for Floyd. I think Errol Spence would, he would give up a good performance, but I just see him getting caught with straight right after straight right after straight right. The fact that he keeps his play, that he stays flat-footed and he comes forward, Floyd knocks you out of position. He knows how to, slip punches, and he knows how to, boom, knock you out of position where you have to readjust yourself. You're trying to come forward, boom, he'll knock you out of position where you have to readjust yourself. He's trying to come forward like that again, knock you out of position where you have to readjust yourself while getting hit with sharp, clean punches. That accumulated with the fact that you have to consistently keep thinking. You can't just flow because of all the adjustments he continuously makes in a fight. So you eventually get worn out. And I think, you know, he would have gotten worn down just like everybody else has been worn down. And we all seen, if even Floyd gets caught, we've seen that man's able to take a punch. There's nothing soft about that dude. He'll eat a punch and then he'll just come at you. You know what I'm saying? People can talk all they want to about him outside of the ring, but inside of that ring, that man's a dog. You know what I mean? He's a dog. He's a beast. And I know people want to talk about what happened in sparring. All that sparring things means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? What happens in front of the bright lights, and it's completely different from you sparring, you running, you lifting, you're physically all drained out, you know, training for a fight, and then you're having these fresh fighters come and fight you. It's completely different from when you've trained, you focus, you're set up on one particular fighter, and you're coming into that ring pretty much as high as on your peak as you can. It's a completely different fight. Completely different fight. You know what I mean? But, you know, shout out to Earl Spence. You know, glad that he's able to make it through the situations he made it from. Hopefully he truly has learned from it, and hopefully he really does stay on the straight path and narrow, and gets fully focused on his career. You know, fully focused on his career, and he's going to maintain and stay there for the rest of his career. But as time goes, we'll see. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.